Evening all, welcome to day 14 of our advent calendar, and today is going to be a bit of a weird one. Some of you will probably have never even seen this game before, some of you will just play it continually like I do. We're playing Magika. How to describe this game? This is one of those games that really came out of nowhere. It was done by, I think, a small group of people in somewhere, God knows where, I think Sweden, and they created a game which I think was designed as quite a kind of tongue-in-cheek, satirical kind of game. And what they produced was probably one of the finest thinking person's games when it comes to magic. It's very difficult to explain this. What you do is you play a wizard, and you can play cooperatively up to 4 people. You can even do deathmatch against other wizards. And what you're doing is you're fighting a there's a campaign basically. And what you're doing is using magic in many different ways. Not like that, because that's really bad and I suck. But the way that the magic works is through elements. Now you have water, you have life, you have, I think, energy or shielding. You have cold, you have electrical energy, you have arcane energy, you have earth energy, and you have fire energy. These are 8, I guess, elements that create basically a cocktail of magic. And you can do magic in 3 ways. You can do it on overtly like that, you can do it on area of effect, you can do it on point, or you can do it on yourself. Now it is an amazing game that just is very difficult to kind of explain why it's so cool, but hopefully you're seeing maybe some of my inept gameplay. I couldn't remember how to play this. It's been probably maybe about 6 months since I last played it, but I pick it up, don't worry, give it a few minutes. But what I'm doing here is I'm trying to fight off these hordes, and I'm using area of effect weaponry, magic actually, and it's going rather well. So Magika, I think, was one of these games that really did come out of nowhere, and I think it was very successfully showcased on a few YouTube channels. And lo and behold, it's an incredibly popular game now. I think because obviously it's had a really good exposure. The idea is very good. So you can obviously do things like that. So I can freeze water, I can boil water, I can put all of these elements into a beam of energy using arcane power and so on. So the combination of spells is extreme, and it's not just about, right, I'll hit him with flame, right, then I'll hit him with this. You actually get benefits. So for example, you'll see me later on taking on trolls, and that's not internet ones, that's that's actual kind of big hulking ones. And what we do is we sock them with a blast of water, we then freeze them, and then we electrocute them. It's brilliant, it really is. So it's a funny kind of there you go, you see I just did that there, and I managed to I think in that case I heated him up with a flame, and then I hit him with a cold beam, and that obviously, or vice versa, and that obviously blew him to pieces. So you can see here what I'm doing is I'm hitting them with a water beam, then I'm hitting them with a freeze beam. Oh, it's wonderful. It really is such a clever game, and I think it really did catch my attention when, almost like my first playthrough of it, I realized, hang on, that means that I could do this, this, and this, and so on. And it became an incredibly kind of engrossing game. What also I would say really did stagger my brain was when you actually get some of the spells that happen. So you can call in incredibly powerful spells as well. That really do make for some quite exciting things. Arcane beams, when playing with cooperative or against enemy wizards, actually will then deflect and bounce off each other. So it's wonderful. It really is. I'm just again, as I rekindle my fond memories of this game, I realise actually how awesome it was. So here we're using electrical conductivity against these guys, so we're actually just literally shocking them all. I am terrible at this game. They should not even be getting close to me. I should be that pro of a wizard that I should just be blapping them as they get near me. But again, it is a game that it rewards learning it, and once you spend a bit of time and you get some combos going, you actually learn some really good mixtures. I tell you what, it is satisfying as balls. It's lovely. What I would also say is probably it's one of the cheaper games on Steam now as well. It really is. I think the Steam sale last time I saw this, it had it on for I think £1.99. So that'd be like $3, and that's really, really good. That's a massive amount of enjoyment in game for very little money. It's also done in a very kind of loving way. It's very funny, it's very cheeky. There's loads of sci-fi references, and once you become really quite good at it, not like I am here, I'm terrible at it, but once you become quite good at it, it becomes an incredibly engrossing game. And as you can see, I'm actually fighting an enemy wizard here, which is fascinating because he's using the same magic on me that I'm using on him. So pretty much I'm trying to, he hit me with a water ray, so I'm now having to obviously heat myself up with fire. And it, you know, when I'm, that's terrible, when I'm wet, I actually can't use the electricity elements because that damages me. And there we go, look at that, kicked his ass. He was wet, I hit him with a cold beam, he then expanded and popped. Love it. And this is how most of the game goes. You know, the minions are pretty easy to kill, but when you meet another magic user, it becomes quite a tricky, challenging thing because, you know, if they hit you with the wrong, or if they hit you rather with the right beam, you're dead. That's it. No matter how much life you had, you're gone. And I love that. I love it. It really is rock, paper, scissors, but in a kind of very magical way. And to be honest, sometimes you realize that there are certain combos that just, you know, really go well together. So that was lightning and arcane power. So the Arcane Beam turns into a lightning beam. So it's just, oh, lovely. And that's Arcane Beam, fire, and electrical power. So it's just wonderful. You get loots. You pick up weapons as well. You can actually melee in this if you wish. You can actually put your magical essence into the weapon as well, and you can do some real damage with it. Now, what I've picked up here is an emergency teleport rod. So if I get in trouble, I can immediately press my middle mouse button and I'll zoom around the screen somewhere. So, you know, that's good stuff. You can do many things. You can protect yourself with arcane seals. You can, you know, literally shield yourself, and then anything will bounce off it. But the problem is, if you're hit with, it's literally like Dune. If you're hit with a laser beam when you're shielded, it's bad news. It will kill you. So very well done. So here we go. We're about to fight a troll. So what I'm trying to do is just clear the area around me, set them all on fire, get them running around a bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to give him a blast of, ooh, if it works. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. That's really not good. Sometimes you get to the point where you absolutely balls up and you do get another life. That's the really nice thing about it is that little fluttering angel that's flying around me is another life. So I don't die, but you know, I do get a kind of second go. So what we're doing here is we're shielding ourselves, and now we're going to get a bit of distance and we're going to blap this troll. And the way we're going to do this is just by literally hitting him with water and then freezing him. You see that freezes him dead, and then we hit him with the electricity, and you see it does a massive amount more damage than it would normally, and that's the beauty of these things. However, not paying attention to your health meter is death. So obviously I died there, but I immediately get my respawn back, so I'm just going to get a bit of space, hit him with the water beam, get him wet, hit him with the cold beam, freeze him, then electrocute his sorry ass. And again, once you start to do this, you really do feel pretty pro, because you're learning obviously the elements that go together. So if you mix water and electricity, you're going to die. If you mix fire and rock, that's a nice combo. You get a flaming ball of death. So yeah, I heartily recommend this game. I think it's an odd choice. I know. I think a lot of people are very dismissive of games like this because they think they're almost like, you know, tablet games or something. Let me assure you, this really isn't. This is probably one of the more, I guess, finer games out there that really does reward that kind of clever play. Plus, if you want to learn, you know, kind of quick, you know, dexterous finger movements, then this is probably one for you. If you're a StarCraft nut or something, I think probably StarCraft people practice on this because it's that kind of game, I guess. But yeah, it's an incredibly sort of challenging and engrossing game, he says, as he gets burnt to death and defeated. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. I think certainly really the desire of this advent calendar was to show you the odd games that we'd never make a video of, but I thought it'd be good just to show you the kind of games we play. And I think, you know, I really do hope people embrace that there is such a plethora of really good games out there that are pretty much less than $5. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.